How you doing? It's your boy Danny. Check this out. I got something good to talk to you about this afternoon. Check it out. What God has for me is for me. Boy, this for that person right now who think that God has forgotten them and has just given up. But let me tell you, what God has for me is for me. Ain't no devil can take it. Well, I'm going to be talking about David. Guess what? In 1 Samuel, guess what? David is anointed to be king over Israel. They already got a king. That means God is about to do something impossible. Remember this, whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind is on God's heart and mind as well. We're about to see God perform his word in David's life. Guess what? First, he had to run up on a giant by the name of Goliath, right? And guess what? This was going to get him into the king's family. But little did he know, getting in the king's family would only be the beginning. And guess what happened? His father-in-law saw that God's favor was on his life and that God's favor had departed him. So he decided that he was going to kill David because he knew deep down inside that God had rented the kingdom from him. But guess what? Saul couldn't even stop David. Guess what? David knew what it was to be in adversities. He knew what it was to be hungry. He knew what it was to be on a run. But guess what he learned? He learned how to trust God. And guess what? In 1 Samuel 30, if you go there and you can look at it yourself, you're going to find out there's a story, a place called Ziklag. Everything is taken from David in Ziklag. But guess what happened? 3 days later, David was king. Did you hear that? God kept his word. God kept his promise. You might be facing opposition today, but I want to tell you that God is a promise keeper. Remember this. What God has for you, and no one can take it. Keep on walking in faith. Continue to trust God. That's what David did. You know what David found out? David became such a great psalmist. He wrote all kinds of things about how good God was in adversities. Let me tell you something. If you really want to find out how close David was with God, go to the book of Psalms. You will see that he will say, God, bow down your ear to me. Let me tell you something. It all starts with the power of prayer. So if you got a situation you need to be praying in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, he the one that went to the cross for you and me so we can have life and have it more abundantly in this earth. So I want you to stay encouraged. Remember this. What God has for me is for me. Don't give up. Stay in the fight. Fight the good fight of faith. And guess what? You shall prevail because God has you in the center of his hands. Have a blessed day. Love you. Bye-bye.